Andrea, tell me, what is the Soil Carbon Initiative and what precisely does it do?
Yeah, okay, so it's a project which focuses on soil and in particular on soil carbon and how we can put soil carbon back into soils in order to mitigate climate change, but also to underpin a lot of other functions of soil, including production of food and fibre and regulation of fresh water and biodiversity.
Tell me, what precisely is soil carbon?
Soil carbon is really is what we could possibly call good carbon. So we're wanting to reduce carbon dioxide emissions in the atmosphere, and if we can get more carbon into soil, then that's a great place for it to be. Many soils around the world, and including in Australia, have lost a lot of their carbon, and losing soil carbon is not a good thing for soil. It leads to degradation of soil. So if we can get carbon out of the atmosphere and into soil, then that's a great thing.
The Soil Carbon Initiative uses the term soil security a lot. What is soil security?
Okay. So soil security is the idea that we can reverse degradation of soil or degraded soils and increase soil fertility if we can get this carbon out of the atmosphere and into the soil.
And so why is soil degradation a problem?
The soil that is degraded loses its fertility, so its ability to grow food is less, and you need to add more fertilisers, and the more fertiliser that you need to add, then the less sustainable that becomes going forward. So soil that is high in carbon has high fertility. Soil that is low in carbon also is susceptible to erosion because it loses its structure, and then if water runs across it or you get a heavy flood, then the water will pick up the soil and it will just run into river systems and then out to sea.
What can be done to address this problem?
We know there are ways in which we can improve soil. The technology already exists. Farmers are using methods which increase soil fertility and increase soil carbon, and if we can use those methods, then we will improve soils.
You've just come back from New York, where you were at an event called Responding to the Global Soil Crisis. What happened at this event?
The meeting in New York at the UN was the preparation for the upcoming Earth Summit, or the Convention on Sustainable Development, which will be held in Rio de Janeiro in June. And our meeting was to bring attention of this issue of global soil degradation to the delegates of that meeting. And it was a great privilege to be there. We work with scientists in Australia and around the world who have developed solutions to this problem, and Australia really leads in this area of finding solutions to the problems of soil degradation.
And what specifically is Australia doing to address these problems?
We were very pleased that the Australian government supported us in this effort, and that they hosted the meeting at the UN. Again, this reflects Australian leadership in finding solutions to this global problem, which will only become worse if we don't focus our attention on it and bring these solutions to bear.
So what's the next step in addressing the soil crisis?
What we would like to see is soil carbon being used globally as an indicator to address this issue of soil degradation. And we know that that if we can increase soil carbon, that will improve soil and it will reverse degradation. And what we're hoping is that at the Rio+20 conference in June, that the issue of soil degradation can be taken up as a goal for sustainable development, and that soil carbon can be recognised as an indicator of reversing soil degradation.